Greetings, beautiful being. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Movement Medicine Morsels, today's edition. And today we're going to simply get into moving our energy through some shaking, some tapping, some cupping. And of course, remember, you can do these at any place on the spectrum of the movement that suits your needs today, that gives you harmony. So it can be anywhere from a very gentle touch or a small movement, a caress or a pat, or light tapping, or if you feel like doing a little bit firmer tapping or cupping, you can do that, but never violent, never aggressive, and always listening with your direct experience. What feels life-giving to you? What is nurturing and life-giving to you? We're all going through a lot these days, and we need to find ways to soothe and center and harmonize ourselves so that we have the ability to move forward with grace and kindness, and that starts with us. So you can adjust these things for seated. I'm going to stand up. If you want to join me, please stand up. If you want to just listen and visualize, if you're in discomfort and movement is hard for you today, then just lie down or rest in a position that's comfortable for you and just listen and imagine yourself doing these things with ease and comfort without actually doing the movements if they hurt you. Or you can shake just a hand if other parts of your body hurt. So I just wanted to put out all these options because we don't have to feel pain. Doing more, working harder, used to be the golden rule, but it's actually not the way that the nervous system works. The nervous system does its best to prioritize safety and efficiency, and pain is the last resort of the nervous system saying, look, I'm out of options. I've done everything that I can to get this show on the road with efficiency, but something's not working, and we need a little bit of outside help to bring in a fresh perspective. So working in these ways gently, mindfully, adjusting, and often doing less, which is one of the hardest things for a lot of us to do, because we've been raised with this do more, work harder, don't take a break, work hard for results. So we approach our healing in that way, and it's not how it works. So anyways, I said I wasn't going to talk a lot, but I talked a lot. So let's get to the movement, but I hope that the movement maybe got something moving in your thinking or our thinking collectively. So let's bring ourselves to a standing pose, a seated pose, or a reclining pose, and trust that following a sense of ease in your experience is actually going to help your nervous system go, okay, ease is okay. Ease is one of the things I'm going to work with. Because what is our nervous system doing for us? It's keeping us safe. It's always making executive decisions to keep us safe in any given moment. It may not pick the highest quality movement, but it's going to pick the most efficient movement to keep us safe or to protect us. So yay, nervous system. Thank you, nervous system. You have been so kind to me and all of the me's that are watching. And now maybe there are other ways. There are other ways to bring in more information that we can let go of the pain because we find different pathways. So with that in mind, vertical alignment is always the first step. We bring ourselves to an open, neutral, and positive. So curiosity, enthusiasm, wonder. It's like, oh, what could be new today? So we plant our feet to feel the ground below us. We feel our sit bones, and if you're in a chair, you get the bonus of noticing the weight in your sit bones. And then from this we grow. We make space between each vertebra, and we elongate the spine towards the heavens, and we relax the shoulders, and we also lift the outer corners of the mouth slightly. And let's rest our hands on our belly and let the natural breath flow. Don't try to do anything with the breath, just get out of the way so that your breath can flow with ease and be the right kind of breath for you right now. Breathing shifts and switches throughout the day, and it switches according to what we're doing. We need a different breath if we're running. We need a different breath if we're sleeping. We need certain breaths for certain sports and activities. So breath is very supple and malleable, and let's stop trying to fit breath in a box. Let your breath be free. Your body in a state of ease will know exactly how to breathe. Feel the sky above, the earth below, your soft smile, and your natural breath for you right now. Rhythm in the breath is very helpful. A sense of rhythm and organization. And looking gently for that, or letting that be revealed. And now let's release the hands and just start shaking lightly through the wrists and the fingers. If you have one sore arm, maybe you want to do this just with the arm that feels happier. Or you could be imagining this. Now maybe the elbows and the shoulders or armpits, shoulder girdle, feel like getting involved. And maybe the head wants to feel loose, and maybe it wants to jiggle or bobble a little bit. And what might want to happen in your ankles and feet? Maybe the ankles have a little bit of bounce, the knees have a little bit of bend and almost straighten. Maybe the hips want to wiggle, maybe your spine feels like, oh yeah, a little bit of a side to side wiggle feels good. So micro wiggling works, shaking works. So we're gently and appropriately, by listening, we're listening for what feels good in our body. Now, if all of this feels really delicious and there's something in you going, making the movement a little bit bigger, but not in the place where I should make the movement bigger because that means I'm getting freer. If you notice that it's that kind of imposition, that's a warning signal. It's like, take a breath, slow down, and go back to the feeling. What does your body want to do? What does your body really want to do? Not your mind saying, body, you must or should do this. This would be better. So find what feels delicious for you. And if it feels delicious to lift your arms a little bit or a lot, and add some sound with your exhalations to help flush the system. You can even lift and drop your heels. Everything very free, very free. Just the right amount. If anything starts to hurt or you feel like you're tightening up, that would be a sign you're bracing to protect yourself, that nervous system job, executive job. So soften something. Find a slightly different way of doing it. Slow it down. Go in a slightly different direction with it. Move in the direction of pleasure. Move away from pain. And move towards ease. Okay, let that be. Let that gradually subside. And come to your vertical alignment in whatever position feels right to you right now. Feel that elongation. You're creating spaciousness within, and you're feeling your connection to the earth below, to the expansive space around and above you, and also connection to your breath. Now let's take the hands over the chest to feel into our heart center in the middle of the chest. That's the energy center. And this is the center of connection and love, and maybe your heart's beating a little bit faster. I can feel that under my hands for myself. And just notice what you notice. And imagine a feeling of love. Maybe there's someone, someplace, something that you feel instant love whenever you think about that subject, that object. It can be a person, an animal, a plant, a memory. Could be the sunshine coming in your window this morning. But imagine something that warms your heart and gives you that lovely fuzzy feeling and that feeling of melting with joy. Whatever it is. And let that energy come alive in your body. And as we move into the tapping and cupping, imagining that your hands and fingers are full of love, and you're going to be tapping a Morse code of love, appreciation, gratitude, and ease into your very own body. So let's begin with a little bit of tapping, and remember, it can be light, it can be a bit more vigorous, never aggressive, never painful. And let yourself receive this tapping. You're making your own ultrasound. Sound vibration. This love is breaking up any obstacles or hardness or stiffness. And then take one hand and cup across the chest. And then come up over the side of the neck and the shoulder. And then come down the outside of the arm. You can even add your eyes. And you can't do this wrong. Just tapping down with love, tips of the fingers and the thumb, clapping the hands, nice energy in that bright sound, and coming up the inside of the arm. And if you came down the inside of the arm, don't worry, just come up the outside. And maybe a bit into the armpit. You can rest the other hand on the shoulder or wherever it's happy. If you've watched some of these, you know I often like the draping over the arm because that's the lazy yogini's method. And then let that be gently, gently, and feel into what it's like afterwards. How does that side feel? You can move a little bit, go inside and feel, listen inside, go into the internal process for you, and see if there are any differences between the two sides. And then zip up your energy for that vertical alignment, remembering soft breath, gentle smile. And once again, we lovingly tap over the lungs and the heart. Love, 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 love. Gratitude, cupping back and forth over the opposite side of the chest, coming into the shoulder and the neck in whatever way feels good to you. You can even support that elbow if that's helpful, or you can imagine doing the movement. And then tapping with love, love, love down the outside of the arm, relaxing, staying open and curious, feeling what's happening inside. How does this feel on the inside? And how can you keep tuning your touch to be meaningful and valuable and lovely? And coming into the armpit and making sure that you're looking after your shoulders. And then let's come to the chest. And here we'll do a little bit of sound, any sound you like. You can even cup both sides or just hold your hands. Freeing the breath and clearing the lungs. And now let's lovingly come up and down the throat into the jaw. Lovingly up the sides of the neck and lightly over the ears, maybe one finger in front, one behind. And lovingly up the back of the neck. Lightly shake that out. And now let the head rise as though it's filled with helium and tap all around the top of the head. You can even move the head around. Nothing is frozen. Tap lightly at the forehead, the eyebrows. Tap a circle around the eyes. We're doing very improv free form here. Lightly tap the temples. Tap the cheeks. If you need a little break, lightly shake out. And fluff up the cheeks. Fluff up. You can even fluff up one side. Smiling helps you figure out where the apples of the cheeks are, that lovely round. And smiling also shifts the hormones, the messages inside your body. Yawn and slide the jaw a little bit as you tap around the jaw and the chin. And then let that be. See how your neck feels. And let's come into the abdominal contents. Maybe you keep feeling what's happening in your face. Smile into your organs. Come down a little bit lower, lower belly, maybe going gentler here. The groin area, come around the outsides of the hips, maybe the buttocks. I like to use the backs of my hands here because that's easier for my shoulders. Your shoulders might be good with palms in. So always go for your comfort. And then the nice hip and buttock area, you might want to add a bit of shimmy or shake in your hips with this. And we're going to come down the outsides of the legs and only go as far as is comfortable for you to bend over. You can bend your knees. Lovingly down the outsides of the legs. I'm going to disappear for a little bit. And come down the outsides of your lower legs, either visualizing the padding coming down or doing it. And remember, love, love, love. Love your legs. Love your ankles. Love the outsides of your feet. Love the tops of your feet. The inside of your insteps. And lovingly come up the insides of your lower legs. And here start paddling up. And come into the perineal floor, either an inch or two away energetically, or lightly pat and tap the whole perineal region. And then finish by gently standing up, slightly reach the groins forward. If you're seated, you might want to stand up just to give your groins a little stretch, a little extension of the hips. So what I mean by that, we're always sitting. We do a lot of flexion. We're opening up and we're lightly lifting and lengthening here just a bit to feel that openness. And then let's bring that to a gentle close. Let's let the arms hang. And find your vertical alignment. Let your hands touch the sides of your legs wherever they reach. And we're going to do a few armpit shoulder circles without losing the contact of the fingers and the thighs or the hips and the palms. So this changes it from a shoulder circle where we often let the arms come up like puppet strings, but just soothing with a little bit of shoulder circling, letting the shoulders drop down and feeling the touch, maybe featherweight or goosebumpy touch of the fingers. And just to finish up, to keep things flowing, let's alternate. So one shoulder inhales up, exhales around in front, and then the other shoulder does its circle without your fingers or hands ever leaving your thighs. If your head and neck want to come along with it, if your knees and hips want to come along with it, your body's the boss right now. And we'll finish with one or two more circles going back very, very gently. And find your vertical alignment and bring one hand up to the heart center and the other hand over the lower belly center. And just feel your hands on your body. Soft smile. Let your breath settle. Witness and appreciate your breath as it is. Notice if you feel anything new or different, or if you feel a difference in how you see yourself, how you feel yourself, what your self-image is. Is there more of yourself feeling whole as one unified whole versus separate little bits and pieces and missing components? These practices are also to help us bring all the parts of us back home together. And this brings us to the end of today's Movement Medicine Morsel. I hope you feel good, because feeling good helps us make better decisions, helps us get through the day or the evening, and moving the energy in our body helps us break up blockages, and we're always in a much better state when everything's flowing, ideas flowing, breath flowing, body flowing. And thank you for your beautiful attention. And let me know if anything made a shift for you or if you have any questions. I really love hearing from you and answering you. Blessings, blessings, and we'll see you the next time.